elders, my brothers, my mothers and my sisters. Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Before we start, let's remember Surah Ummah. We can Surah Fatiha and 3 times Surah Ikhlas. Bismillah. لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Life and death are entirely in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can neither postpone it as much as we wish it to happen, nor could we bring it forward. فإذا جاء أجلهم لا يستأخرون ساعة ولا يستقدمون. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. When Ajal comes, the death comes, and the final moments come, neither can we postpone it. They will not postpone it, nor will they bring it forward. When the time is come, it has come. One thing from the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they say that our Ajal will only come because of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never wishes to give us more pain than we can bear, to burden us more than we can bear. Out of His mercy, the time of death that is written by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best time for us to live. This is out of His mercy. So when somebody is dying, somebody is dead, you should know this was the best time. He could have wished to live longer. He could have wished to bring it forward. Nothing like that will happen. It will only happen when Allah wishes it to happen. And for those who have no belief in the hereafter, for those like you see across the globe, massacring innocent people, for those who are enjoying the thing that they're going to live forever. If you ask them, they will say they're going to live 1,000 years. And Allah captures that in the Holy Quran and says, يَوَدُّ أَحَدُهُمْ لَوْ يَعَمَّرُ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ. They would wish they want to live 1,000 years. It's not going to happen. However far medical science progresses, it is not going to happen. When the time will come, we will follow. And it can be in any form, any time, or any place. Nothing is fixed. Nothing is fixed. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ خَبِيرٌ. We don't know which land, which place are we going to die. We're going to die, be it in the form of a martyrdom, inshallah, inshallah. Could be an accident, God forbid. Could be a sudden death, we don't know. Could be a terminal illness, we don't know. Could be a short illness, or could be sleep. He slept, he died peacefully in sleep. That's how we describe this time of death. It will happen. What we can do is only to do good and avoid sinning. 2 things. Any form of activity. Take taqwa, take bir, take goodness, salihin, whatever. 2 things. Avoid sinning, do good. We can't do good, don't do good. Let's not sin. Let's stay away from sinning. That's the best we can do. And pray for the best of the deaths and probably the sweetest of all deaths. The rest is beyond our control. The rest we leave in Allah's hands. Daily, there is a best living example for us to appreciate this reality of death. That we have no control over it. We all experience it. We all see it, probably don't realize it. That comes when we are asleep. Every single day. If we don't sleep, we fall sick. We can't perform. If we go to sleep, we should know we're almost dead. We're not alive. Nothing in your control, in my control. The souls are not with us at that time. When we go to sleep, we return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And interestingly, they return back to us when we wake up only for one reason. Because our term, our time in this world is not over yet. Otherwise, there is no reason for that soul to come back. Allah retain that soul. That is why traditions help us to understand this phenomena. This phenomena of sleep is a sister of death. And it's a reality we see every day. The verse that we recited of Surah Zumar at the start of our talk expounded this phenomena so clearly. Allahu yatawaffa al-anfusa hina mawtiha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes the souls at the time of their death. وَالَّتِي لَمْ تَمُتْ فِي مَنَامِهَا. And those that have not died in their sleep comes back. When the time comes, Allah takes away that soul. فَيُمْسِكَ الَّتِي قَضَى عَلَيْهَا الْمَوْتِ وَيُرْسِلُ الْأُخْرَى إِلَى أَجَلٍ مُّسَمًّى. Then He retains those for whom He has ordained death. Your soul will not come back. My soul will not come back. And sends the remaining souls because there is still an appointed time for that person to survive and live on this earth. Otherwise, the souls go back, don't return to us. Now, the first situation for us to understand this connection of body and soul, there are three situations. One situation is when we are wide awake. In that situation, we have control of the soul. For the moment the soul is in the body, we have control of the soul. In fact, we have complete connection between the body and the soul when we are awake. The soul is either nourished or dirtied by our own selves. Nobody dirties it apart from us. We have the control and the will to do what we wish when we are awake. Good or bad, evil or virtue. In the hours of wakefulness, Allah allows us to determine our destinies. It is all in our hands of control. The second situation, when there is a very weak connection between the soul and the body, that is when we are asleep. Why? Weak. We don't have control. But we can still see some dreams. We can still experience nightmares. Because that is in the soul. The body feels it, feels the pain, feels the joy, feels the pleasure. Can do nothing to change. We have no control. That soul that is partly us, partly outside. The soul is independent. The soul is there, not with us. The only possibility that we can have in this situation is probably we could wake up from our sleep when the soul is returned back to our bodies. If not, time is up. Sleep is that weak form of death. That's why we are advised, whenever we wake up in the morning, recite a short dua, very short dua. Very easy to memorize this dua from Ahmad. Very short. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyani بعدما أماتني وإليه النشور. الحمد لله الذي أحياني بعدما أماتني وإليه النشور. All praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who gave me life after He gave me death. Our day, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 5 hours. And to Him is the return. At that moment, let us pause when we wake up in the morning for a few moments. Let's not just rush out of bed. It's also not good when you sit on the bed. Let's ponder. Before we get out of bed, let's just realize we've just come back to life from death. We were dead. Trust me, we were dead. There was nothing there. We're just a body lying there. The soul is not with us, not in our control. Others are not fortunate, like we got up in the morning, others not. Others didn't see another day. That is the greatest reminder of death on a daily basis. If we appreciate this reality when we wake up in the morning, it will make us thankful of yet another opportunity. Trust me, no power, no money, no influence, no wealth, no property, can do nothing about nothing to stop that moment if we want not to die in sleep. Nothing can change. We be thankful. We got another opportunity granted to us free of charge without us paying anything. For two things, Allah has given that opportunity. One, to act if we didn't act yesterday. Two, to remedy what bad that we did yesterday. At least we have this. Because istighfar is remedy. Every with this, we can do that. Alhamdulillah. We will achieve. No wonder we are strongly recommended to perform wudu at night, to recite certain du'as when we go to sleep, to recite certain surahs, like Surah Al-Ikhlas 3 times, Surah Mulk once, at least recite Ayatul Kursi before we sleep, recite 10 times Surah Qadr before we sleep, recite Tasbih Bibi Fatima al-Zahra, Salamullahi alayna, Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
محمد
Before we drift off to sleep, at least ask forgiveness for ourselves and for those around us. These two things we can do. It's free. It's just a thought. It's just a small act. We don't need to move. Lying down on the bed, we can do all this, and it is all accepted, and it is all considered ibadah of one of the highest level. If we perform wudu and go to bed, in case we don't wake up, at least we sleep. At least we sleep after reciting certain du'as. At least we sleep after remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 3, the last situation of disconnection between soul and body is when there is no connection. When there is no connection, that happens when we are dead. The soul is now responsible for all our actions, our intentions, our decisions, and our characters. Now the soul is going to take the brunt or enjoy the reward. The body may remain intact in the grave. No guarantee. The body may remain intact. More often than not, the body rots. But the soul is alive and independent because it was meant to live forever and never to die. The soul will take a form and become our identity, what we are, what we did. Will become a mujassam of our acts, of our decisions, of our thoughts, of our intentions, of our movements, of our expressions, of our good, of our evil. That will form a body in the hereafter. That will be our identity. Somebody looks Islam, we can recognize it. Because that will be an independent identity that when we are on this earth, with this body, the soul will have its own body in the hereafter. Our appearance in the other world will entirely depend how we nurture the soul to such a peculiar, unique, independent form that can only be related to one of us. This is you, this is him, this is her, this is me. Easily recognizable. In the best form that the soul can take the hereafter are for those who have attained master or died on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These two will get the best of the form in the hereafter. Their forms will be such that they'll be like pearls in a heap of stones and pebbles. These are pearls. Just like the twinkling stars in the darkest of nights. You can say, these were those who lived on this earth and made the earth a better place. Made sure others gain from them. Made sure that others are happy with them. Made sure others are relieved because of their presence. Made sure that the mustada'afeen, the oppressed, got their rights. Made sure that people on this earth always look up to them, hope that this person will bring us the relief from all these pains. He did all that. He will be like that star, twinkling in the darkest of nights. And the best of the best can be seen in the place of Karbala. These ones, they never had anything for themselves. They never lived for themselves. These were the individuals who never wished for tomorrow. Because they didn't want tomorrow. They always wished to be next to Abu Abdullah Hussein. They wished that they could live long enough to ensure that Al-Askar gets some water. It never happened. They wished they would live long enough to avoid the ladies and the children of Imam Hussein from being captured as captives. They wished that Shami Karima would not happen. They wished that Imam Hussein alayhi salam's chest would not be dirtied by the feet of sheep. They wished that on the plains of Karbala, on the day of Ashura, when Imam Hussein alayhi salam is reciting the salah, they would be in front, taking all the arrows on their chests. They wished that these ladies would not go to Sham in the dungeons of Sham and be treated worse than even slaves. Even slaves got more food. The food and water given to the children of Imam Hussein was so little, so little, that Bibi Zainab alayhi salam used to give her food away to the children until it is said when she returned back to Medina, she was not recognizable. She had aged in that period when she was in the dungeons of Sham. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا منهم فلم يحتلوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون.